Alumni, Colby Smith. Colby recently graduated from Marine Basic Training in San Diego, California. And tonight, Colby will be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch for tonight's game. His cousin, Hunter Chase of the Galena Bears, will be catching for him. At this time, we ask everyone please remain standing for our national anthem.
Okay. We are live here from Tootie Parsons Memorial for Game 4 of this Crane Fall Woodbat Tournament third place game. These two teams that are going to be on the field are going to be Crane and Galena. You just saw a ceremonial first pitch that was being thrown by former Crane Pirate and now current U.S. Marine Colby Smith as he gets high fives and hugs from the Crane Pirates team. Catcher for the Galena Bears was the one who caught the ceremonial first pitch tonight. And as we look into this game between Crane and Galena, Coach Jazzy Martin is joining me alongside here on the Ozarks Sports Sport YouTube channel. Coach, what are you going to be seeing from both Crane and Galena tonight?
Should be a real competitive game, Adam. Got two of the better teams here in the SWCL matched up, and I look forward to seeing a great contest. Some good hitting, good pitchers, and hopefully we'll get a good game.
Galena is now taking the field as they will be led off by Luke Burke as we read off the starting lineups tonight for Crane and Galena. Luke Burke will be leading off. He'll be playing shortstop tonight. Josh Gillick will be in right field tonight for Galena as he hits in the second hole. He wears number 15. Cameron Robertson will be behind the dish for this Galena Bears team. Hitting in the third lineup, Jocelyn Shearer will be hitting fifth in the lineup for Galena. He wears number 7. Kellen McCullough will be out in center field tonight for the Galena Bears. And Grant Harness will be the man on the bump for these Galena Bears. Logan Thompson will be the first baseman tonight for the Galena Bears. He wears number 16, hitting in the 7th hole. Hitting 8th will be Hunter Chase in left field tonight. Hitting 9th will be Logan Busby. He is a designated hitter for these Galena Bears, and also hitting in the Also not hitting but playing second base is going to be Wyatt Snelson. And also Coach John Z. Martin will read off the Crane lineup.
We have starting off, leading off, number 3, Isiah Smith. He's going to do the pitching tonight. We have number 22, Chase Conrad in the 2-hole. He's playing shortstop. Center fielder, number 23, Nick Brannon, will bat third. Number 16, Heath Quick, is playing left field, and he'll fill out the number 4-hole. Darren Terrell is going to do the catching tonight for the Pirates, number 28, and he'll bat 5th. Batting 6th and playing first base is number 32, Bryson Brandstetter. Playing in right field, batting 7th, number 25, Isaac Robinson. Filling out the DH hole is number 35. It's going to be Buddy Bowling. And number 30, playing third base in the 9-hole is Wyatt Howard. Playing second base is number 21, Zane Compton. He'll be DH4 by Buddy Bowling.
Isiah Smith.
Isiah Smith now the man to greet the pitcher for these Galena Bears of Grant Harness. As Isiah Smith comes in as a sophomore for these Crane Pirates. Parent pitchers meeting here on the mound between the catcher and the pitcher tonight for Galena. If you saw the last 3 games, it was a walk-off in the first game between Spokane and Wheaton. Spokane defeated Wheaton by a score of 3-2. And then the next game, it was Billings defeating Blue Eye by a score of a very close 9-8 game against Blue Eye. And then in the last game, it was between Purdy and Hartville. It was Purdy taking that one 6-3. And here we are starting off the second to last game, the 4th game of the 5th game between Galena and Crane. Crane is the host, and the visitors on the scoreboard tonight on their home turf. So once again, I'm Adam Smith, joined by the assistant coach of the Galena Bears, Coach John Z. Martin.
Looks like we have something going on over in the Galena dugout that the umpires are looking into. Coach Harmon's are also over there. Not really sure what's going on. Maybe a question about the lineup. That's would be my speculation. So we'll see what goes on here. Hopefully we can get this game started quickly, as Grant Harness has already taken his warm-up tosses and he's ready to go. Now we have Brian Harmon walking back towards the plate area.
Brian Harmon now going towards the home plate umpire to discuss something with the home plate umpire. Isiah Smith waits patiently for the umpire to call play ball. As we stand here from the Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium in downtown Crane, it is the site and where it all ends here for the Crane Fall Wood Bat Tournament. Grant Harness still making his warm-up tosses, just to loosen his arm up. Now, Coach Martin, what was the strategy that the players should do during this sort of delay?
Just want to keep their bodies loose. I see a lot of them out there standing still. I had to do a little bit of jogging, moving around. Maybe even go in and talk to each other in the outfield. Of course, the pitcher's playing catch with the infielder, so that's a good thing. Wondering if there must be a problem with the first baseman, if it maybe his glove or something, because he's not out on the field right now. First baseman, Logan Thompson. We shall see.
Logan Thompson, the first baseman who is not out on the field for Galena, causing the delay in the start of the game. And as we speak, once again, these two teams of Galena and Crane are not too far apart from each other. Galena about 9 miles south of Crane. Coach Brian Harmon goes into the visitors' dugout.
It looks like maybe Logan Thompson has a nosebleed, is what I'm seeing him with a towel, and he's kind of rubbing his face area. So That's kind of what I'm guessing at right now, is that he's maybe had a nosebleed and we're trying to wait that out.
The thing is about nosebleeds is they can last a while, and you don't know when they're going to stop because it could cause a big delay in the game. So still, Isiah Smith waiting patiently there with the home plate umpire and the head coach, the catcher for the Galena Bears of Cameron Robertson. Excuse me. As they will wait it out. Once again, Isiah Smith is the leadoff man. He'll be hitting first in the line, or he'll be on the bump tonight for these Crane Pirates. Kind of talking it over, having a little bit of a conversation while they wait for the first baseman to say it's okay to come out to the field. And there he goes, and let's play baseball.
All right, we'll get started here. We've got Grant Harness on the hill for the Bears, and he has one inning under his belt this fall so far, and we'll see if he can tame the Pirates lineup. Isiah Smith up to bat, and Isiah Smith. We're waiting for the first pitch here.
And again, back up for the Pirates, number 3, Isiah Smith.
Now, as that delay comes to a close, Isiah Smith's going to dig into the left side batter's box, and we'll let Coach John C. Martin give you some stats on Isiah Smith.
Yeah, Isiah Smith is right now, his batting average, located here, he is batting .296, looks like, with a on-base percentage of .333. So he's going to be a tough out here for these Bears in this first inning.
Already 2 balls on him, 2-0 the count on Isiah Smith. He's a sophomore for these Crane Pirates. The 2-0 pitch is going to be taken outside for a ball at 3-0. And what's one thing that you're going to be seeing Galena do to not put Isiah Smith on the bases?
Well, the first thing we want to do is throw strikes. Right now we got a 3-0 count, Adam. Sure hope Grant can harness that and get in there, and that's going to put Isiah Smith on for pitch walk.
And that will bring up Chase Conrad, the
Now
speedster.
22, Chase Conrad.
Chase Conrad, a guy you do not want to have on the bases if you are Galena.
That's right. I was over here Thursday night, and first thing I walked in, and he's up to bat, not only on the bases, but this little guy can pack a lot of power. He's small, but big power can come in small sizes sometimes. As he hit a ball about as deep as it could be without going out of here on Thursday night against Conway Bears.
Chase Conrad already ahead in the count at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes on Chase Conrad. Here's the 1-0 pitch, as that one's going to be lofted. They get Isiah Smith there at the plate, but Chase's speed is too much for those Galena Bears.
Yeah, out of the box, I was sure we were probably getting a fielder's choice on that one. I didn't think there was any way we would get the double play with Conrad's speed down the line there. Up to bat, looks like we have Nick Brannon. Nick's batting .308, leads the team in home runs with 2, as Harness throws one down the line on a pickoff play. That'll get Conrad to second base. Big RBI chance here for Brannon.
Big RBI chance for Nick Brannon, as he's had a couple home runs on this season. He hit one against Morrisville at Morrisville, and then he hit another one here in Crane, actually against Licking when Licking and Cheyenne, Oklahoma came down to Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. And what do you know, Nick Brannon is going to be he's going to hit it for a base hit. He's going to be stopping at second base with Chase Conrad scoring, and the Pirates are on the board, 1-0 Crane.
That's a big double for Brandon right there. Get on the board first is going to be important against this Bears team, as they do have a powerful offense especially at the top of their lineup.
Apparently what we saw was coming into this tournament that Galena was undefeated, weren't they?
Galena was undefeated coming into the tournament and won their first round match in pool play against the Blue Eye Bulldogs. then ran into a tough Conway Bears team, took them to the bottom of the 8th inning, took a 2-1 lead, and couldn't hold on for the win as the Conway Bears scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th to defeat the Galena Bears.
And that Conway Bears team will be playing for the Crane Fall Without Tournament Championship after they defeated Crane. Here comes the second run of the ball game, and that is going to be Nick Brannon scoring on a pass ball.
It's like the Bears kind of need to get their feet under them here a little bit. We're kind of throwing the ball around a little bit. Need to just settle down, make good pitches, and make good plays.
Both these two teams represent the SWCL, the Southwest Central League, here in Stone County, here in Crane. These two teams are about 9 miles apart from each other. One more count on the cleanup man, Heath Quick, as another ball gets away, but no runners are on base. 2-0 Pirates here in the top half of inning number 1.
It's easy to see why Coach Harmon has Quick batting here in the 4-hole, as he is the team leader in hits with 10 this fall season. He's going to take a walk to first as Harness lets one get away from him there. He shook it off pretty easily. He looks like he's going to be okay down at first base.
Heath Quick shakes it off after he was hit by the pitch, and this is going to bring up the catcher of the Crane Pirates. That's going to be Darren Terrell.
Darren Terrell.
Now, this kid is a good baseball player. I watched him play last summer whenever he was an incoming, I guess he would have been a freshman getting ready to be a sophomore. And you could tell that this kid is a baseball player. He has it in his blood, and he's going to do great things.
If you're to, there goes Heath Quick, as he will steal second easily. So everything cooking very well for the Crane Pirates in the Pirates' kitchen tonight.
Yeah, again, the Bears need to settle down here. They haven't allowed anything. Brandon's hit to left field was a strong hit. Other than that, we kind of made some mistakes, and they just need to kind of get themselves ready, get themselves kind of their feet under themselves, and make some plays here. That's a ground ball to the second baseman, and he'll throw it over to Logan Thompson for the out.
And that will bring up the big power man, the senior Bryson Brandstetter for these Crane Pirates. What have you seen from Bryson Brandstetter throughout your years of coaching against Crane?
Bryson Brandstetter.
Brandsetter's a load. He's one of those kids that he's just a big, strong kid, and he does things right. Has a good batting average, and he's rolling here for the Pirates early on in the fall season.
Brandstetter will watch first pitch, come in for a strike at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 runner on third. I believe that is Heath Quick. Pardon me. 0-1 the count on Bryson Brandstetter. He's got a lot of power. And if you recall from this spring, as Brandstetter is going to be hit by the pitch again on 0-1.
Yeah, key to the game here for the Bears is going to be control, throwing strikes.
Number 25, Isiah
Harness has
Robertson.
been one to struggle a little bit with that here recently. When he does have it going, though, he's tough to hit. I hope he can just right the ship here in the first inning.
Back to what I was saying about Bryson Brandstetter as he stands on first. If you recall from last spring, it was between Marionville and Crane on this field, as Robinson's going to sky one. It's going to be caught for the final out of the first inning. So the damage has been done early on, and the Pirates lead this one by a score of 2-0 over Galena. Starting to lose my voice a little bit. Now, do you have any stats for Galena in memory?
Yeah, I have some on my phone here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
I got Game Changer up, so I can get it.
cool. So, which do you like better, coaching at Galena or coaching at Crane?
Well, I'm going to have to say Galena right now.
Galena.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
No, the biggest thing I like, Adam, is I like getting to coach basketball. And since I coach basketball at Galena, that's what I'm liking.
Excuse me, do you like basketball better than baseball?
Coaching, I do. I would rather coach basketball, but I like coaching baseball too.
Oh, yeah.
Now, watching it or playing it, it was baseball.
Baseball. You played baseball, didn't you?
I played baseball. I played baseball and basketball, but
What position were
baseball
you?
was definitely
What position were you in baseball?
first base pitcher.
Who's taking you over your spot? Oh, is that Kesterson that's going to be taking over your spot?
Yeah, I'm just the junior high coach, but I'm like
I see. So you're
in the spring. I'm kind of like the third assistant.
So kind of like what Martin is here at Crane.
Right.
Excuse me.
I usually do game changer or something if I'm in the dugout with them.
Oh, you do game changer?
Yeah.
Cool. It's pretty easy, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. My nephew plays on a travel team. Last summer
nice.
I started
Nice.
doing that a lot with them.
Welcome back to Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium as the Crane Pirates lead the
28,
Galena
Luke
Bears 2-0, and Luke Burke is going to be the shortstop who is going to lead off the top half of inning number 1 for Galena.
Yeah, Luke's batting .667 right now, so he's a tough out here for the Pirates. Strong batter. He's a senior for this club, and he likes to set the table.
Quickly behind it, 0-1 for Luke Burke. And during the summer, he has played on the the Kansas City Royals scout team.
Yes, he is, and it's I know he plays with Dayton Moore's son, and then another former major leaguer that has a son that plays on the same team, and he loves it. He's getting seen a lot, playing all over the southeastern part of the United States. As you see, he rips a hard line drive down, or hard ground ball down the left field line here, and he's going to get at least 2 on that.
Luke Burke easily on that double, and that's going to move the lineup down to now Josh Gillick of the Bears. He wears number 15
Happening
for
15,
Galena.
Josh Gulick.
Yeah, Josh is one of our other seniors, and he's started off this year pretty well. He's coming in and hitting a .462, and he's got off to a really good start for him. Last year he struggled with the bat a little bit, played a nice right field, but now he's picked up the bat here in 2018.
Josh Gulick looks at the first pitch for a ball at 1-0. What's one thing that Crane's going to have to do to be protected with their lead?
I think you can do anything to just try to keep Luke Burke from hitting something deep or driving in runs would be the big thing. Do have some new bats in the lineup this fall that's helped out a lot, and have Dawson Shear, who's going to bat down in the lineup there a little bit. He can drive in some runs, and so hopefully with a good nucleus coming back and some new faces, the Bears will be able to do something. But I think definitely taking care of Luke Burke is what you want to do.
Big one. That is definitely a big thing to do if you're facing Luke Burke, is you've got to get that man out. Luke Burke is definitely going to be a tough out to get if you're an opposing team against Galena. If you're Crane, Billings, Blue Eye. Safe, says the bases umpire, as Luke Burke glides in there safely, getting dirty. And what do you know? You got the first run for Galena just about 90 feet away.
Yeah. Gulick missed the bunt there, and then Burke was able to bait Terrell into throwing down to second, and he almost paid for it, but he was able to sneak in into the tag.
2-2 count on Josh Gillick, as it's now run full at 3-2, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2, this is anybody's pitch.
It is right here.
The payoff, swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Gulick. And that's going to bring up Cameron Robertson, the catcher, the man behind the dish for these
Now
Galena
number 5,
Bears.
Cameron Robertson.
Cameron Robertson's a freshman, but he plays baseball like a junior or senior. He's a strong player for the Bears this year. He does his off-season work with Midwest Nationals, and he's come in here and done a great job for the Bears.
First pitch swinging on Cameron Robertson. as you mentioned, Cameron Robinson with the Midwest National. He's played with one of my family members who actually plays high school baseball at Class 5 Nixa up in Christian County. And I'm sure if you know the name, starts with a U, Huber.
Yeah,
Jake
I've heard
Huber,
that a few times.
that's my cousin. So yeah, he's a pitcher for Nixa. Back to this game, Robertson has an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2.
That one just missed the outside corner. Isaiah wanted that curveball for a strike, but it just hung up in that left-hander's batter a little bit.
Now with the baseball, what is the secret about the baseball once it leaves the pitcher's hand? Is there some sort of controlling mechanism, or is it on its own when it leaves the hand of the pitcher?
You mean as far as the pitcher's concerned?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to,
Now batting number
depending on if he's
7,
throwing a
Dawson
curveball or
Shearer.
a fastball, he's going to have some rotation on it, and the control, he's wanting to just release it just the right time to get that to cross the plate where he wants it.
Here's Dawson Shearer, the third baseman for these Galena Bears. Luke Burke still waiting patiently there on third base. He is the leadoff man, and he's the shortstop. Ball gets away. Good block by Darren Terrell. One thing I've seen about Darren Terrell is he is a very good blocker, and that's one thing about a catcher is you got to block the ball.
Yeah, that's the number one thing for me. I mean, you can have a good arm, but if you let balls in the dirt get past you, then your good arm does nothing for me.
Strike 2 now on Cameron Robertson, Dawson Shearer, the third baseman for these Galena Bears. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Shearer. Here comes that 1-2 pitch.
I think the one thing the Bears are going to struggle with this afternoon is that off-speed pitch. They're going to have to wait on it, and they're fastball hitters, so we'll see what they can do here.
2-2 the count. Here comes the fastball, swung on and missed, and that's all she wrote for those Galena Bears. So no runs on 1 base hit, no errors. 1 man was left stranded on third. That was Luke Burke, and we go on to the top of inning number 2, 2-0 Crane over Galena. Hopefully these guys can hear you. Who is it that you think the Cardinals need to get rid of in the offseason?
There's probably some pitchers we need to wean out and get some real major league relievers. I mean,
Like who would you get rid of? Would you get rid of Norris or no?
I'd get rid of Norris, Weaver.
Weaver? I don't know, because Norris was a closer at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but I just don't know. I think I would even consider, if I didn't make him my closer, I would even consider a good trade for Carlos Martinez, I think.
Really?
With all the good young pitching we have, yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely Fowler, I don't know. I mean, he may come back and do well, but
Maybe.
Next
I mean,
year,
it's tough to see.
Yeah.
Tough to say, so. I mean, it can happen in the next season, so. Like the Cardinals could either go. We could either be in first place with the best record in baseball, or we could be in last place with the worst record in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could just stay how it was this year with us being like in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Chicago running away with the Central again. I mean, I wouldn't want to see that happen next year because, pardon me, are we getting tired of seeing the Cubs run away with the Central every single year?
Well, like they're just when Theo Epstein came in, he just became that guy that was going to spend money.
Who's that, Theo Epstein?
Huh?
Theo Epstein, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that their general manager?
Their general manager,
or
yeah.
their GM?
And so it's going to be tough to not be that way for a while. Them being front, he's going to spend the
Plus,
money.
one thing is Bryce Harper's going to be a free agent, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's us. All right, just about to come back on with.
Now for the Pirates, number 35.
Welcome back to Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium here in Crane, Missouri. 2-0 Pirates. As we enter the top of the second inning, Buddy Bowling, the batter for the Crane Pirates. He's the DH for Crane. Coach Martin, what's your stats say on Buddy Bowling?
Bowling's hitless here in the spring, but he's been on base 7 times. He knows the strike zone and he can take a walk.
1-0 as the ball gets away, got away from the catcher Robertson, as now Buddy Bowling's got a 2-0 count, and he is determined to get on base for the first time today.
That's going to be the key here. If the Pirates can get base runners, then they're going to score some runs. So
2 balls and 1 strike now on Buddy Bowling. He's a senior for this Crane Pirate squad. The 2-1 pitch. He's going to be hit by the pitch, and there you go. Buddy Bowling's on base, and that's going to bring up a freshman, Wyatt Howard, for these Crane Pirates. What's your scouting report on
Wyatt Howard?
Wyatt Howard?
Well, Wyatt's batting average doesn't show it, but he's a strong hitter for these Pirates. He's going to, as a freshman, he's going to do some damage in the years to come. Here's the pitch from Harness. It is in for a strike. 0-1 count here on the freshman for the Pirates. He steps back in looking for the next pitch.
0-1 the count on Wyatt Howard as he falls behind in the count now. He's now going to even it up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. This is one thing about Wyatt Howard is he can work the count for Coach Harmon's Pirates.
Yeah, and that's a good hitter always needs to work the count. As many pitches as you can get that pitcher to throw, that eats into his pitch count. And Harness hits Howard, second hit batsman of the inning. You know, I've noticed, Adam, these Pirates like to play small ball. They stand pretty close to the plate in there.
Yes, they do. These Pirates do play a lot of small ball, and doesn't it matter how close you stand at the plate when you're up to bat?
Well, there's a line there that the batters are supposed to stay behind. The line sometimes on a field they won't actually draw it visual. That umpire knows basically where it is, and I've seen him back them off a little bit before. It's important for the pitchers to be able to throw inside and not be able to hit the batter. To try to back them off that plate a little bit. So it's going to be important for these Bear pitchers to control that, but still be able to go inside and move the hitters back a little bit.
Head coach Timmy Townsend, they're still there on the mound as he talks to his starting pitcher, Grant Harness. Still nobody out with 2 runners on. That's Wyatt Howard and Buddy Bowling. And once you get to the top of the order for Crane, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and it looks like the Bears are going to make a pitching change here. They have freshman Logan Busby coming into the game. He's a left-hander. He has had I don't believe he's had any work yet in varsity action this fall yet. Get that pulled up for you. Yeah, he has not pitched yet for the varsity in the fall. He did throw in our Jamboree games and did a nice job. Through one scoreless inning. So we'll see if he can throw strikes here and get these Pirate hitters out.
So with a new batter or pitcher, that's coming into coming to pitch for the varsity level. It's also going to. It could also be a guy you can slap around, or it could be a guy who just comes in and just mows down your hitters. Now, what's one thing that Crane's going to have to do if they want to keep scoring some runs and maybe putting this game out of reach?
They're going to want to be selective. Busby's the first thing he's want to do is come in and just throw strikes. So be selective at the same point. Be aggressive enough to the point that if that ball's in there, they want to get their bat on it and see if they can't make something happen. Looks like Harness is going to stay in the game, go to second base for the Bears. That should mean that Busby's going to come into the game. He was DH, but now he's going to come in and hit for himself. Not really sure how that works. I'd need to see the lineup to see what's going on there.
Isiah Smith now back up for his second plate appearance, and let me get his rap sheet for his last plate appearance that happened back in the first inning.
I believe he walked, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he walked, and then he was thrown out at second, trying to steal second, and that's going to bring up
That was on the double play.
On the double play, yes.
Second on the double play.
out at second on the double play. So that's going to bring up now the speedster for the Pirates. That's going to be Chase Conrad, who's definitely going to give Bears nightmares tonight.
For sure. I mean, he's a speedster, and if he puts that ball in play, it's going to be a tough out, no matter where it is. Looks like Coach Townsend has something to say about that play at second there. I'm not really sure what the discussion is. Maybe he was thinking that the runner should have slid Buddy Bowling into second base, and he's going to walk back to the dugout, and we're going to move on.
Of course, with Coach Townsend having some words to protest that call.
To Chase Conrad.
I've known Coach Townsend because my older brother, Jacob, who's actually coaching at Gainesville as an assistant, he actually played summer ball with Coach Townsend, as Coach Townsend actually played high school ball in Branson, and Jake Smith, the former Crane Pirate, actually played his high school days here on this diamond here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. Coach, what did you see back when you coached Jacob when he was a batter and a pitcher?
Well, Jacob was always known more for his pitching. He could throw the heat, and he's going to be a guy you could count on to go out there every 5-6 days and give you a good game. We always felt confident whenever I was coaching. We always felt confident sending him to the mound, and knowing that he was going to give us a good pitching performance. We also felt like we had our best defense behind us whenever Jacob was on the mound, so that was real important too.
0-1 the count on Chase Conrad. Something you don't see too much with Conrad there at the plate, as the pitcher, actually Logan Busby, who was the designated hitter, and Conrad's going to swing, ground it. One run's going to score. That was Buddy Bowling, and Chase Conrad is going to be safe, so his speed has bailed him out of another out once again.
It's true. The Bears were able to get the force out, but couldn't get the speedy Conrad down at first base.
23, Nick Brandon.
So with Chase Conrad there on the base pass, which MLB player could you relate Chase Conrad to?
I'd say to me, he's like a Harrison Bader. He's going hard all the time. He's gonna make the plays in the field and always go 100%.
Different thing between Harrison Bader from the St. Louis Cardinals and Chase Conrad is on the plays in the infield, while Harrison Bader plays in the outfield at center. And with Harrison Bader, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Jim Edmonds when he was out there at center.
That's true. I love watching both of them play. Bader's going to be a little faster than Jim, but Jimmy could always got the good step. He always got the good read on the ball, and he didn't have to have the speed that Bader does because he always got that good read. Busby needed to give a look over there to Conrad. Conrad just stole second and didn't give the catcher a chance.
Definitely a big error for Galena pitching. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's going to be that's now going to be 3-0, pardon me. 3-0, 2-0. That's the thing about when you know about baseball. Sometimes you forget what count it is.
Well, that's true, and it's hard to watch the scoreboard because you never know for sure if they're going to be right or not. So you just hope they're on top of it.
3 balls, 1 strike on Nick Brandon, who can show some power for a senior. And he will draw the walk, and the bases are going to be loaded for the guys in the gold jerseys.
The first couple batters there, Busby did a real good job of getting throwing strikes and getting some ground balls. We can just hope now that he can continue that. He walked Brandon, and now we'll see if he can't get quick here.
He's quick with his job to clean off the bases and score in a few more runs, as the first pitch to Quick is going to be a ball 0-1. No balls, one strike. And if you're the home plate umpire, you're supposed to know what count it is if you study the strike zone. How did these guys prepare to study the strike zone?
I think just getting a lot of work. The more work you get as an umpire, the better you get at calling it. He does his best to to signal in on what the pitch is going to look like, and he has to kind of look at the, obviously if there's a taller batter, strike zone's going to grow a little bit, and if it's a shorter batter, it's going to be a little smaller. So he's just kind of got to be observant of what's going on and just take the time and do the work to get better.
2-1 as Quick skies one. It's going to go foul. With only one out here in the top of the second inning, there's still a lot of room to make some noise if you're the Crane Pirates. And that's one thing that Coach Harmon really wants to see Crane do, is make noise with those bats.
That's right. If they were to go down with just one run in this inning, I would say Coach Harmon would be pretty upset about that. Fly ball to right field. And a great throw by Josh Gulick.
What a throw that was by Josh Gulick. But another run's going to score, and that's going to make it a 3-0 Crane lead.
He held it third.
Held it at third, so
Stepping up to the plate, number
3-0 Crane
Terrell.
with Darren Terrell, the catcher for the Crane Pirates. As he digs in, he bats from the left side, so with both the left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters, what makes it tough between those two?
Well, especially if the left-handed pitcher has a good curveball, it makes it real difficult. The ball's going to go away from the left-handed hitter, whereas if you're a right-handed hitter, that curveball is going to be coming toward you and makes it a little bit easier to see. And if you swing at a bad pitch, or swing at a pitch that's a curveball, you can still get a bat on since it's coming toward you instead of going away.
Now it's kind of about the same. It's kind of the same if you have a switch hitter there on the mound, or a switch hitter at the plate. So if you have a right-handed hitter, then or right-handed pitcher on the mound, then chances are you'd have to bat left. And so you'll be seeing a lot of curveballs that can go away from you than they are coming towards you.
That's right.
So as we head now to the bottom of the second inning, now it's time for Galena to start making some noise. What do you think?
It sure is. I tell you, Logan Busby came in there and really gave the Bears a shot in the arm of getting those last two outs and making sure that the damage was limited to only one run in that inning when he had bases loaded with one out. He did a great job. I tell you, the last time Logan Busby pitched here in Crane, he threw a great game against a good junior high team last year. Won the game 2-1, and it was a complete game, and I think he gave up one hit. So it was a good night for him, and he's bouncing back and doing the same thing that he did last time he was here.
Logan Busby now what's the do-up order now going to be looking like for this Galena team?
It looks like we're going to have Caleb McCullough is going to lead it off. Then we'll have Grant Harness, followed by Logan Thompson. McCullough all spring last year for the Bears, and he's dropped down in the lineup because now he has the ability to drive in some runs. So we'll see if he can't get us started here and go on from there.
Number 1, Caleb McCullough.
Caleb McCullough stepping into the Caleb McCullough now stepping into the batter's box for the Galena Bears as he looks at strike one. Ball one. And that ball looked like to me it was going to be in the zone.
It was pretty close. It hung up there on the outside just a little bit.
Pitch back.
That's a base hit for McCullough. He's speedy.
As the ball was overthrown by Chase Conrad, so definitely if you got a 3-0 lead, you got to protect if you're Crane.
That's right. Yeah. Conrad made a great play there. It was a tough play to make, and McCullough beat the throw there. But then on the overthrow, McCullough was able to make it down to second base. Now we got Grant Harness up. He's one of the better hitters in this Bear lineup. We'll see if he can't do some damage here in the bottom of the second.
Grant Harness, who is the starting pitcher now, he is playing second base now. And with Caleb McCullough now up on the bags, does this guy have speed?
He does have a lot of speed. He's probably second or third fastest guy on the team. He likes to get dirty. He likes to move, and hopefully just a good base hit could drive him in right here.
1-0 pitch from Isiah Smith. That's going to be bunted. They're going to get McCullough, they're going to get Harness, but McCullough is going to now move to third. So a good job on both sides.
That's right. It's a good bunt there by Harness. If he could have even got that down the line one way or the other, he might have been able to get himself on, but he was able to move McCullough to third, and he did his job. And here we have Logan Thompson.
Thing is, when you're bunting,
and this is number 16,
what does the bat act like? Like, how should the batter control the bat when he's bunting?
Well, the biggest thing is you want to make sure that the bat head is above your hands, because otherwise you're going to pop up the bunt. Second thing is you're going to have to it's going to have to be on a pivot, almost like there's a ball bearing there, and it's able to move any way you need to. That way you can push it down the third base line, or you can drag it down that first base line and give yourself a chance to get on base.
Another bunt attempt by Thompson, as runners now are going to be at the corners, so not a good job by the Crane defense, pardon me. But there's only one out, so they're just going to have to keep that run off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's just happened to go down the third base line. Third baseman charged, and the shortstop was, I believe, covering second on that play, it looked like. And so even though McCullough had been going on the squeeze play, he was able to get back to third safely whenever Thompson bunted it straight back to the pitcher.
The man there at third, that's McCullough, as he shows intimidation as he's intimidating Darren Terrell, the catcher, there at the plate. Now, is that a good thing for the runner to intimidate the catcher while he's going back and forth on the base pads?
If the base runner can get in the catcher's mind a little bit, that's a good thing. The only thing you have to be careful about is Terrell has a good arm and he can throw him out. You want to make sure that you're smart, but at the same time you want to let that catcher know you're there.
Definitely like a little bit of a Yadier Molina style. Throw to home and back to third, but the runner's safe, and Coach Harmon's going to come out and say some words. I wonder if that was to his fielders, or was that to the base umpire?
I'm going to guess that was probably to his fielders, because they didn't have anyone covering third on that. Of course, Howard was playing in. He made a good play by stopping that ball and going home with it, considering that the runner made a jump towards the plate. But then there was no one covering so that he could throw back and get McCullough trying to go back to third base. Now we have bases loaded, one out, and a Busby kid here, that Logan Busby, that can put a hurt on the ball, especially whenever he can get around on it. So I expect a good matchup here between him and Smith.
Assistant coach Clay Stumpf will out to the mound as he will talk things over to Isiah Smith. What do you think Coach Stumpf's words are to Isiah Smith as he is now out to the mound? What do you think he's going to be saying to Isiah Smith?
He's just trying to settle him down, let him know he's doing his job. He's throwing a lot of ground balls right here. This Bear team has just kind of manufactured their way into good position here. With one run of the bat, if you get one down the line here, it could be with a speedy Hunter Chase on first base. We could be looking at a tie game with one swing of the bat.
Tie game with one swing of the bat is something the Pirates do not want to see.
6, Logan Busby.
as they still lead 3-0 here in the bottom of inning number 2 here at Crane. And that's the last thing Crane wants is to see their 3-run lead go to waste.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now it looks like this umpire we have here today has a good low strike zone, and Busby on that first pitch there, he did not swing, but umpire called it a strike. It's going to be 0-2 as Busby goes for a bunt attempt there on strike 2.
Now talking over to Coach Townsend, what are his words saying to Busby as he skies one, caught by Chase Conrad, who took off with a speed to field that ball. Very good reaction by Chase Conrad, and how important is the reaction time for your fielders?
That was good. It doesn't help that Conrad's one of the fastest guys out there, but he was playing towards second base, but he was able to get over there and make that play whenever it was just behind where Howard was going to get to, because he was playing in, waiting for the possible bunt attempt there.
Swing ripper. That's going to be into the outfield for a base hit. One run's going to score. That is McCullough, as he was waved in from Coach Townsend. And now the Bears trail now 3-1 over Crane.
15, Josh Gulick.
That's about one of the best things that Isiah Smith could have done there, is just make sure that ball stayed in the park, because Burke was licking his chops a little bit there with the bases loaded, but he had a hard ground ball that made it in the outfield for a base hit and an RBI.
First pitch strike from Isiah Smith, and he's going to be ahead now at 0-1. Now it's always a battle between the pitcher and the batter. The batter's looking to get on base somehow by either a walk or a base hit, and the pitcher is always looking to slam the door on the batter. 2 outs already here in the bottom half of number 2. What is Isiah Smith going to be thinking?
He's just wanted to get an out some way here, whether it be a ground ball or maybe get that strikeout. Does not want to walk the hitter right here. The one to get, I would say, is this one. You got a strong Cameron Robertson up to bat behind him. They could change this game in a hurry.
2-1 is bobbled off the bat, off the glove of Wyatt Howard, and another run's going to score. It's going to make it now 3-2 Galena. And I'm sure you've heard the term "want the baseball." Have you heard of that term before?
Yeah, and that's what, whenever you're the good players, you always want the baseball. You want the baseball to come to you. And Howard being a freshman, I think he's going to be great. That's for sure. And he wanted the baseball there, and just got a little bit on the. He tried to scoop that, and it popped out of his glove, and wasn't able to get the out. So the Bears score a run.
So nothing to worry about if you're Coach Harmon. Just shake it off for sure. Definitely shake it off. If that's the case, and just tell them that you're going to get that. You'll get that out next time. You think those are some wise words to say if you are Coach Harmon to Wyatt Howard?
I would say so. He just needs to shake it off. Wyatt Howard's the one you want out there. He's a strong player. He's going to be a real good one, and I think that Coach Harmon really wants him to be out there.
1-0 going to be slapped to the second baseman Compton. Throw on to first, and there is the final out of the inning. We go to the top of inning number 3, 3-2 Galena over Crane. Oh man. Long day today.
Yeah, you've been talking a long time now.
Yeah. Yeah, especially coming off a sore throat,
Yeah.
Probably gonna make my throat even sore. Oh well. At least I'm still recovering. You didn't get sore throat this week?
What's up?
You didn't get sore throat?
Nah.
Huh?
I'm used to talking every day being a teacher, so.
Oh yeah. Who do you think's gonna make it to the World Series this year?
I wouldn't bet against the Dodgers right now.
Dodgers aren't a bad choice. I'm putting hopes and bets on Atlanta. Atlanta and Houston maybe.
I would like that matchup.
Atlanta and Houston. Who do you think would win that one?
I think Houston would take that
Houston,
one.
'cause
Yeah, I think Atlanta's
young.
away still. Yeah.
Atlanta's young, but Houston's stars on their team. So it's definitely going to be a big test.
It's so much cooler in here.
Okay, back on air. Here we go.
Back up for the Pirates, number 32, Bryson Brandstetter.
Top of the third inning, kicking off here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. Crane and Galena. Galena trails Crane 3-2. It's Bryson Brandstetter, a big power hitter, is now up to the plate for Crane. As we've looked over at the third base side of the diamond here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium, with the meeting between the coaches and players, what do you think was said to the players from the coach?
I'd just say settle down. You know, they still have the lead here. Chance to go on tack more, probably a little inspirational for Coach Harmon. And Brandstetter is getting ready to do that here.
1-1 upstairs, now 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Bryson Brandstetter. And the Pirates who have came off a loss last night to Conway, and also Galena coming off a loss against Morrisville. Bryson Brandstetter is going to be hit by the pitch, so what are these two teams going to be looking for in this game? How can Galena get a win against Crane, and how could Crane get a win against Galena?
I think it's kind of a pick-em. I mean, they're both strong teams and just looking to bounce back from.
Isiah Robertson.
Of course, Crane was kind of a heartbreaking loss. They had the lead going into the bottom of the last inning there, and then the Bears Morrisville was way too much to handle. And so they're wanting to bounce back. So both of them wanting to make that bounce back and get ready to get a win here.
Crane with that heartbreaking loss on Thursday night. Now with excuse me, with Friday night last night, the off day during the Crane Fall Wood Bat Tournament, which was also the rain day. What do you think Crane and Galena may have done during that day to help get ready for this game?
Well, I'd say with 3 games and 2 nights, both of them wanted to get a little bit of rest, but they both came in and did some work. I'm sure they took some batting practice and just made sure they were ready defensively. And it looks like so far here we've seen both teams that are hitting the ball pretty well and had some suspect fielding a little bit at times, but they're wanting to get back to playing good fundamental baseball.
3 balls, no strikes to count on Isaac Robinson. He is the right fielder tonight for Crane. 3-0, and Robinson's going to be on base for a walk. And what do you know? Pirates have runners on first and second base. What's this going to be? What's this going to be for Galena? How is Galena going to approach with nobody out, with runners on first and second?
They want to get a ground ball here. The hope is to get a good ground ball up the middle, be able to turn 2. I'd say that the Buddy Bowling's a double play candidate here. If he does not do what he looked like he almost did on that pitch and go for the sacrifice bunt.
Definitely go for the excuse me. Definitely go for that sacrifice bunt if you are Buddy Bowling. Excuse me. 1-0 count on Buddy Bowling, as he's not going to make it now. 1 ball and 1 strike. And how disciplined is it when you even the count? Say you're ahead in the count at 1-0 and you make it now a 1 ball 1 strike count. How disciplinary is that when you're at the plate?
Yeah, you're wanting to look for the pitch that you want. Bunting is difficult enough, but whenever you are trying to do it with the pitch you don't necessarily like, then it's even tougher. So Bowling's wanting to get the pitch that he really likes here to put down. He's going to be looking at forward here on this pitch.
2-1 the count on Buddy Bowling as he gets as he gets now back ahead in the count at 2-1. Now 2-1 the count on the defensive side for Galena. What's this mean for these Galena Bears with 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out with runners on first and second?
I was definitely looking to score a run here. Busby's able to even the count with strike 2. And now I'd be looking for Buddy Bowling to swing away. Here's where we're looking for that double play ball up the middle. You can see the second baseman and shortstop both creeping a little closer to the bag.
Strike 3 called, and Buddy Bowling's going to be sat down on strikes, and that's going to bring up Wyatt Howard now, the ninth man in the
30, Wyatt Howard.
the ninth man in the lineup for Crane. He is the Pirates' ninth man, and he plays third for Crane. Coming up in his second plate appearance, what's his resume tell us in his first plate appearance?
I don't remember. Well, Howard has 1 RBI on the fall campaign, so he's looking to drive in a run right here. Not remembering exactly what happened with him in his first. I believe he walked to get back to the top of the order, if I remember correctly, and that's when we had the pitching change.
1-0 the count now on Wyatt Howard. 1-0. Got the inside pitch. It's called a strike now. On that upstairs inside corner there on Wyatt Howard. So one thing is with Wyatt Howard, as he learned from his brother Harley Howard, who graduated last year, what do you think he has learned from his older brother of Harley?
Well, he comes from a long line of brothers that play baseball here at Crane, and he was able to take that pitch on the arm and get on first base. Thinking back, I remember the last time that him and Busby faced each other. He hit. That's in fact the only hit that Busby gave up last spring for the junior high Bears. But Howard hit it a long way into the gap, and now we have Isiah Smith up here against Logan Busby.
Isiah Smith, one out of many sophomores on this Crane team, and when you see a lineup full of sophomores from this Crane team, does this smell trouble for Galena?
Yeah, bases loaded, and of course, top the lineup up.
Ball gets away. Here comes one run. That's Brandstetter, and scoring easily on Brandstetter. And the Pirates now have the 2-run lead back again.
That was impressive. Brandstetter's a big boy, and he got down the line quick on that.
Definitely one thing to do if you're Brandstetter. Big guy like Brandstetter, just got to book it back. Just got to book it to the plate.
That's right.
2-0 the count now on Isiah Smith. Also, one thing is in the next 2 years with this team, next 2.5 years with these sophomores, here comes another run. That's going to make it 5-2 Crane as Isaac Robertson now scores from third. Cleaning up the bases, isn't it?
Yeah, you never like to see runs scored this way. You know, your pitchers and catchers keeping the game. That's been 2 wild pitches from Logan Busby. He needs to settle down and refocus and start throwing strikes again. He needs to limit the damage right here. I would say we need to get out of this inning without allowing another run here with 1 out.
The 3-0. Smith will get the strike from Busby. So definitely a good job to get that strike call. But if you're Isiah Smith, you're at 3-1. What's Coach Harmon's words going to be as he now draws the walk?
Yeah, I would say probably be selective. Make sure you get the pitch you want to hit. You got a good stick up behind you in Chase Conrad. Going back to what you were saying about all these sophomores, Adam, there's both of these teams actually are loaded with sophomores and freshmen, sophomores at least, and it's going to be a rivalry I think you're going to see for years to come too, as these younger kids just keep getting better and better.
Cole Yesterday going to pinch run for Isiah Smith, as Isiah Smith is the pitcher for Crane. So with Chase Conrad now coming up, he's definitely going to give headaches for Galena.
Yeah, he's looking to keep this inning going right here.
Howard gets back and safe, says the bases umpire. So Howard got away with that one.
Yeah, it was a pretty close one. Shearer with the tag down there. He almost had him look like. I think you're looking here for. I think the Bears need to be thinking about cutting down this runner at home, up the middle. Of course, a double play. it's going to be difficult against Speedy Conrad, but that's what you have to look for.
2-0 now on Chase Conrad, as definitely a good thing with that speedster there at the plate is to have him work the count. He's now ahead at 2 balls and no strikes. What's this going to be saying for Busby?
Yeah, he's got to get back to throwing strikes here. Even if he puts Conrad on, we're going to have to make sure we go after Brandon in this next at bat. Get him to pop up or to hit a ground ball and see if we can't get out of this.
3-0. Here comes the pitch, and Busby is going to get the strike. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike now on Chase Conrad. And now we kind of go back now to about 2017, the spring of 2017, in the Class 2, I believe it was District 11, if I'm right. 10 or 11. It was played here at Crane, and these two teams, Crane and Galena, along with some other teams of New Covenant, Billings, Blue Eye, I believe Spokane, and Sparta was in here. What kind of weapons did Galena have back in the spring of 2017?
Oh goodness, I mean the 2 you have out there on the field that are still there. Of course, Caleb McCullough wasn't getting much time at that point, but Luke Burke was in the lineup at that point. Other than that, they graduated a good hitter in Austin Holt last year and Kobe Sarton. And then before that, the Logan Sorrell, I believe is his name. I wasn't at Galena at that time, but just remembering, I know Blake Batson was a big player there, and just a lot of talent graduated there. I believe there were like 8 or 9 seniors that graduated, leaving the cupboards a little bit bare, other than Holt and Sarton and Burke.
Same thing with Crane last year, as Crane graduated 5 seniors, as Conrad skies one. That's going to be trouble. It's going to be a base hit. 1 run is in, 6-2 Crane. Harmon's going to get the stop sign there to Esri, and safe, as Esri put on the brakes just a little too late. And what's one thing that you could say that
Now betting number 23,
that's
Nick Brandon.
good and not good for Esri?
Well, he's definitely a speedy player there. He did a good job of stopping Harmon. Harmon was thinking about sending him around there to score, but seeing how quickly Gulick was able to get that back to the infield, he put up the stop sign. Esri put on the brakes and had a good dive back into third. I think just if the throw was a little bit lower, he might have got him there at third.
Runners on second and third. Chase Conrad is the man that's camping out there at second base. Coy Esri there on third. Looking to be the 7th run of this ball game for Crane. And what's going to be the driving force? What's going to get Galena back in the dugout with 2 on, 1 out? Now 2 balls and 1 strike now on Nick Brandon.
I think they need to get it out here and then go on to try to get Quick out next there at the plate. Get in there, with limiting it to 1 more run maybe, and then just going to work.
Inside pitch on Nick Brandon as he kind of did a little bit of the belly twist inside the plate to dodge that pitch. Now it's going to be 3 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. And also from Crane, with those teams, you saw players like Weston Cloyd, Bryson Hooten. Nick Brandon's going to draw the walk, so that's what I'm saying. You saw players like Weston Cloyd, Bryson Hooten, Caleb Head. Those players were deadly back when during their time with Crane.
That was a pretty good team. Obviously, I can't remember for sure if they lost to the Bears or New Covenant in the semifinals of that district, but that district was honestly pretty loaded, and any 3 of those teams could have come out of it, I believe, and then gone on and done some damage at the sectional and quarterfinal level.
Definitely a state qualifier. Also, Crane was also a state qualifier last year, but that game ended in a district championship. Actually, a suspended game there at the Fed on the southwest side of Springfield, just right there at the campus of New Covenant Academy. And Crane actually graduated 5 seniors last year. Brent Williams, Colby Smith, who threw out the ceremonial first pitch coming back from the Marines. 1 ball, 1 strike on Heath Quick. Also Colton Elder, so Brent Williams, Colton Elder, Colby Smith, Wyatt Vaught, and Harley Howard. How deadly was that group of seniors from last year?
Well, they definitely had some firepower from the offensive side of the field, but also you graduated probably your top 2 or 3 pitchers right there, and that makes it tough for a Crane team that wanted to bounce back this year and have a good season too. And they've done well with what they have for sure.
2-2 the count on Heath Quick, and if Heath Quick a junior now for Crane, who only one more year left to wear the blue and gold for Crane. What's this say for players who are juniors and just past the the third baseman's glove for a base hit? That's going to score another run, 7-2 Crane. So now with Heath Quick a junior now for Crane, with 1 year left to play for these Pirates, how good does it make for? How good is a junior player like Heath Quick?
Well, I think it's good that they both. Most of this team is coming back next year. You have 2 or 3 seniors that are out there that in Brandstetter and Brannon and Buddy Bowling. But other than that, the rest of this team's coming back. They're gonna be strong again next year. And Quick's one of that. He's gonna be a key for them even this year and then on into next year as he enters his senior year too.
1 ball, no strikes on Darren Terrell, as also Darren Terrell can also put the ball in play as well.
He sure can. He's a good hitter. In fact, he leads the team in RBIs. I take that back. He's 1 behind. No, he does lead the team with 9 RBIs right now.
9 RBIs. The RBI machine of Darren Terrell. Here's a pitch just outside, 3-0, and
there's another one.
There's another run as head coach Timmy Townsend is now going to go to the mound, as he could make a pitching change. Yes, he will. And who's going to be the new man that's going to come up to the mound to face these pesky Crane Pirates?
It looks like he's bringing in Hunter Chase.
Hunter Chase from left field.
Yeah. And Hunter hasn't seen any varsity action this fall yet. He has pitched in JV. If he can throw strikes, that's kind of what we're looking for here. Throw strikes, try to get us out of this inning, and then see if we can't go to work at the plate.
Definitely a good idea if you're Galena, is go to work at the plate. Also get those last 2 outs if you can. Throw strikes and just work the Crane hitters. Definitely shut them down and just get those good pitches that you can. So with the new guy, Hunter Chase, coming in from left field, who's going to be taking over? Who's going to be who's going to be held in captive? Who's going to take the place there at left field?
It looks like they sent Logan Busby out to left field. He's a very solid outfielder. He can play he can play all over the outfield and has a good arm too. So that's good for them.
Logan Busby now out in the outfield, as he was the designated hitter today for Galena to start off today's game. 5 runs have already come across the diamond for Crane here in the top of inning number 3. And with the 3rd inning here, you got a long way to go.
That's for sure. It's kind of one of those things too. I was just thinking, in high school baseball, you never know. You might start the game at DH, and then you're going to end up in the outfield somewhere. Who knows? Maybe you'll even go into catch or something. That's high school baseball for you. So, there's still a lot of baseball here to be played. Hopefully the Bears can get out of this inning, limit the damage here with 1 out, and then try to go to work at the plate and see if they can't chip away. You don't want to try to get everything back at once, but you want to just kind of chip away at this lead and see if they can't get back in it.
Chip away is going to be the main words that are going to be taught by Coach Townsend to his Galena Bears squad. And I believe Coach Townsend was the head coach back in the spring of 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that could be right.
No, that was Coach from Forsyth. Losing his name right now. Byron Richardson. Yeah, Coach Richardson. He led the Bears in 2017, and then right after that, he was able to go and take over for for the departing coach that was going to Glendale, Coach Julian, back at his alma mater of Forsyth. So,
Coach Richardson back at his alma mater of Forsyth, now Julian at Glendale. And if you've watched any of Ozarks Sports Report's weekly recaps from last spring, we've had Coach Julian on our show, as well as we've had Coach Snyder, Coach Harmon the most times on the OSR channel. And we've had New Covenant's coach, Coach Hartley. And we've also had some other coaches in. But we have not had Coach Hughes or Crumpley. We've had Coach Garrison, who took Mansfield all the way to the state championship and got second place, losing to Valley Catholic. Now with that team in Mansfield, all the way out east in Springfield, you've been out east to play those teams like of Mansfield, Hartville, Norwood, Seymour, so on and so forth. What do you see that comes out of that conference, the Summit Conference that's out east from Mansfield, Norwood, Hartville, and Seymour, and so on and so forth? As Brandstetter is going to line, that's going to be a base hit. One run is in. Here comes another one. That's Heathwick is scoring, and here comes another one. 9-2 Pirates. So back to what I was saying about those teams out east. What have you seen What have you seen from those teams that play east of Springfield?
There's always some solid baseball out there, and I remember whenever I was here coaching at Crane, we used to go to a wood bat tournament over in West Plains every fall, and we'd see some of those teams, usually over there, Mansfield or Dora is another good team from out east there, that they just know how to play the game. Seems like they just keep producing baseball players, even though they're smaller schools over there.
Now we kind of flash back now to about 2 weeks ago, where we had one out-of-state team from Oklahoma. That was Cheyenne, Oklahoma, who came over here to play Hartville, Crane, and Licking. Also, Licking played Crane. What's different about Missouri baseball, or what's different about Oklahoma baseball as opposed to high school baseball coming out of the Show Me State?
Things are going to be pretty similar. There's always a little bit of different flair. Playing at different times. There's a lot, just different competition. It's always good to see some of those teams come in from Oklahoma or Arkansas and get a chance to play against different competition, because down here, especially in the fall, we play so many of the same teams over and over again because there's only so many teams that play in the fall. So it's good to get those teams in from Oklahoma and Arkansas to get some different competition and try to get yourself better for the spring.
The funny thing about here in Missouri is fall baseball does not have postseason here, because once you end off your regular season, then you go right into a conference tournament, in which both these teams will be representing the SWCL in their conference tournament, which will be at two sites, at Galena and at College of the Ozarks, just south of Branson. So another thing about Oklahoma baseball is during the fall they do have postseason baseball, just like how we do here in the spring in Missouri. So they have like district, sectionals, quarterfinals, and state. So could you see district, sectionals, quarterfinals, and state coming to fall baseball here in Missouri?
I don't really think so, considering, there's so many schools that play football here in the state of Missouri that it would be, and it's one of those situations where teams would normally have to pick whether they're going to play for the championship in the fall and spring, and I think a lot of schools would not want to do that. They might consider it watered down or whatever the case may be, because they're only competing against a handful of teams as opposed to almost the whole state. So that's kind of be what I would think would be holding back the state of Missouri on doing that.
Buddy Bowling, now the new batter for the Crane Pirates. He is the designated hitter today for Crane. First pitch to him is going to be a strike at 0-1. Cold hitter there on the plate at the plate for Crane. Is this going to be an easy target for Galena's pitching?
We should be able to try to go get him. That's definitely what he wants to try to do. Just go in there and try to throw strikes. And he's got an 0-2 count right now. There hasn't been a lot of strikes thrown, so these guys are kind of falling asleep up there at the plate. If you can get the ball at the plate, maybe get them to swing at some bad pitches or some balls just off the plate there, you have a chance to strike them out, and maybe there we go. pitch looked pretty good.
Pitch does look good, but it's going to be a 0-1, or pardon me, a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Buddy Bowling. Also very good by Buddy Bowling to work the count. Now he's at 1-2. So definitely, if you're down 0-2, just got to work the count. Got to get to work on that count.
That's right. You want to foul off as many pitches as you can, get back to somewhere that's manageable, and one of the best hitters in baseball to do that is leadoff hitter for the St. Louis Cardinals, Matt Carpenter, and he's, in fact, some people call him Mr. 3-2 because he's able to work the count to 3-2 so often.
2-2 count on Buddy Bowling as they check on Isaac Robertson there at first base. Runners are at the corners after Robinson walked, and Brandstetter had that. I believe that was a double. Double from Brandstetter is another pickoff attempt. 2 balls, 2 strikes, still 1 out here in the top half of inning number 3. We're getting into the middle stages of the ball game, as opposed to Major League Baseball. This is still the early stages of a Major League Baseball game.
Right. Yeah, with only playing 7 innings, and tonight maybe shorter depending on time limit and things of that nature. But Hunter Chase was able to get Buddy Bowling there on the strikeout, and now we will have freshman Wyatt Howard step to the plate, third baseman.
Now batting number 30, Wyatt
Howard, a man who can show some power, but he's got some power, but he's got to show it.
Yeah. This young in your career, you get a little nervous, and like I said, last year playing him in junior high baseball, he definitely showed some power against us. He's one of those hitters you don't want to have to face if you don't have to. So he's just going to grow as a hitter and get better.
As we move to the middle stages of this ball game, and we look ahead to the 5th and final game of this Crane Fall Wood Bat tournament, and that's going to be the Crane Fall Wood Bat Tournament Championship. It's going to be against Morrisville and Conway. What are you going to be seeing out of these two teams, as they both are going to represent the Summit Conference?
Yeah, well, both of them are, I believe, down to they're not going to have their best pitchers on the mound, but they both have some firepower from the offensive side of the plate too. I know those Panthers really put it to the Bears Thursday night, and just kept hitting. So they're a good team. The Conway Bears have shown that they can hit the ball really well. I think it should be a great contest. I expect it to be a little more high scoring than what we would have seen earlier on in the week.
Early scoring could be the key between Conway and Morrisville as we look down the softball field here in Crane. And that's going to end the top half of inning number 3. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's 11-2 Crane over Galena. And now we go into the bottom of the 3rd inning. What's Galena going to have to do? They're down 11-2. They are 6 runs away from getting run ruled, as a 15-run rule could come into play. What's Galena going to have to do coming into the bottom of the 3rd inning?
Yeah, they're going to want to get as many as they can right here. I don't think you're going to see the sacrifice bunting that we did in the last inning whenever we were only down by 3 runs, and that 3rd inning really killed us there. So we're going to be looking at trying to just get single after single, want to keep that line moving, and see what we can do.
Thing is, with Crane, you got an 11-2 lead. Is you're going to have to protect. Crane's going to have to look at first pitch strikes and turn those strikes into outs, because if you don't turn those strikes into outs, then chances are you could lose that lead. I don't know if I've ever seen this big of a lead go away, but the thing is with Crane, since they're the visitors on the scoreboard for Crane on their home turf, Galena's going to get another chance at that, even though they're going to get run ruled, even though if they get run ruled or not.
Yeah, that's right. Galena will have the last chance, and hopefully they can get something going here and get started, shrink the gap here a little bit, and hopefully be ready to keep moving on and not do the run rule. So
Dawson Shearer now the guy to lead off the top of the 3rd inning, the bottom of the 3rd inning for Galena. And this guy has some power for Galena.
He does. He came into the season. He's a transfer student here, and he hasn't played baseball in a while, but I tell you, he has the tools to be a real good one. He came in as a pitcher, pitched 5 shutout innings against Blue Eye on Wednesday night over at Galena in the pool play, and then I watched him hit the other night here, and he took some balls long, and he also has the opportunity to take some pitches too.
Swinging a high pop-up that's going to be caught by Nick Brannon, the center fielder for Crane. So easy come, easy go, as one out is quickly recorded. So now with the sun now setting as we approach 7 o'clock on this Saturday evening, is this an advantage for the hitters and fielders, or is this more of a disadvantage for the hitters and fielders?
Well, the unfortunate thing about here, Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium, beautiful place to play, but there are some places here in the park where the lights are not super effective, and the poles should be about probably 5 to 10 feet higher on each pole, and then we have better coverage. But it is a little more difficult in the outfield. There's definitely a point where you lose sight of the ball because it gets too high.
Once you lose sight in the ball, and it's already nighttime here at Crane. Once you lose sight of the ball, then it could be tough to find it, because it's going to be a little bit easier because the ball you can see it in the night sky, but once it leaves, it looks like it's just out of sight here at Crane.
Yeah, you got to hope that you make a good read on it and get to the spot you think it's going to be, and then try to catch it on the way coming down. I'm looking for it and try to get under it.
Grant Harness is the starting pitcher for Galena. Now he is at second base tonight for Galena, as he looks at a first pitch at a strike, 0-1. Now, question: you haven't seen Chase Conrad pitch before for Galena, haven't you?
Yeah, actually watched him pitch. He pitched that game against Conway on Thursday night. He's a tough pitcher, and he's only going to get better.
Thing is, you guys will play Crane again, but it's going to be about 10-11 miles south of this ballpark at your home ballpark there in the county seat here in Stone County of Galena. You might see Chase Conrad. What is going to be the approach that you're going to deliver when you see Chase Conrad pitch at your place there in Galena?
I'd say you want to get to him early, get him shaking a little bit. He has really good curveball, so they're not going to want deep in the count try to hit. They want to make sure they stay ahead, either taking bad pitches or swinging at the good ones early and trying to get ahead there.
Logan Thompson, the man to greet Isiah Smith with 2 away here in the the bottom half of inning number 2. Logan Thompson, he is a first baseman, started out. What's his stats looking like so far? What has he done in his last plate appearances?
He's had a real good start to the fall. He's a sophomore. He played as a freshman last year, but he's batting .455 here early on in the fall, and just doing a real good job for the Bears. Moved up in the lineup from where he was last year, and now he's looking to drive in runs in one of those more power spots.
One more strike to count on Logan Thompson. Currently, he's the first baseman, and from a high school head coach's perspective, what do they like to see from their first baseman?
Well, they want to see someone who's gonna make the play all the time. It's one of the few spots on the field that other than catcher, that you're going to touch the ball more than anyone else. So you want someone over there who's going to be a wall. They're going to be able to scoop low throws. They're going to be able to get the ball if it's a little bit high. Thompson has a little bit of height to him. He's about 6'1", and he can come off the bag and get it if it's a little high, and also stretch out there. He's kind of got long legs. He can stretch get it if the ball doesn't quite get to him.
2-2 the count, as that's going to be sucked up by Wyatt Howard throwing to first, and that's all she wrote for the third inning. We go to the top of the fourth inning. It's going to be an 11-2 Crane lead over Galena. You guys, it's going to be a long ride back to Galena. Well, I'm sure you'll stay for the championship game, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll stay.
Awesome. Whole game?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, well, it's Saturday night at church night for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to go in the morning.
Okay. What church you go to?
We go to Ridgecrest Baptist Church.
Oh, they're in Springfield. They're on Republic Road.
Mhm.
That place is developed. Oh, that place has grown up. My goodness. Like when I was there, it was like a roost place to roost. Have you heard of that place?
Oh, the Roost?
Yeah. Like the one on Sunshine at Kansas. Like
Yeah, I've been there.
as
one
you're
time.
coming in from Republic.
Mhm.
And then there's another one. I think it's on Republic Road. Kind of by Ridgecrest, like as you're going towards Kansas Expressway.
Yeah,
there's
that
also
new
a Hudson
shopping
Hawk.
center. Yeah, that new shopping center with Hudson Hawk. And the Great American Taco Company. Have you been there yet?
I have, yeah. I've been to the one closer to 65.
Sure.
Like between 65 and
Yeah, that's one I've been
and
to.
Glenstone, yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Those are very good.
I like that. Frito pie.
So Frito pie.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't lose views from that. There we go. Gee whiz.
Need to get the tripods.
I do, yes. So it could stop all the ruckus from the ball or from the camera falling off. It's because I'm messing with this thing.
Yeah.
So you have to drive back to Springfield, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you lived in Galena.
No, I live just south. I live in South Springfield, like over south of Sam's.
Oh, as you're going towards Nixa?
That's it, yeah.
Ah, so
Yeah, I'm up Weaver Road.
Weaver Road. So that kind of like that. Is that like a side road there in Springfield?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's between James River and what's that other road?
Plainview.
Plainview, yeah, Plainview, like the last road in Springfield before you go into Nixa. All right, here we go.
Back in for the Pirates, number 3, Isiah Smith.
Back at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium for the 4th inning as we kick that off. 8 runs have scored here in the last half inning for Crane. And now that's going to be the big advantage for Crane. What's going to be the subject, or what's going to be the statement? What's Coach Harmer going to be telling his players on how to play this baseball game here in the 4th inning offensively?
Yeah, well, I know Coach Harmon pretty well. Coached with him for several years, and he's going to want him to pile on right here. He doesn't want him to stop scoring because he knows that the baseball game can change at any moment. And even though these Bears haven't shown it to this point, they can make a comeback. So he's going to want him to pile on and score as many runs as they can.
Those Pirates have learned that lesson from Thursday night as they were up 4-0 on Conway, and Conway came back and beat them. I believe that was 10-4 between Conway and Galena. As you could tell, that was not a pleasant night for Coach Harmon.
It wasn't.
Now, what is one thing that you would say that keeps Coach Harmon up at night as a head coach if he's got a big league like this?
Well, I think his biggest thing is errors. Remember, he did not like to see Isiah Smith play the ball in the infield. And I got the privilege of playing for Coach Harmon as a player, but also being a coach with him as a coach. So he did not like to see errors on the infield or outfield. He wanted to be known as one of the best defensive teams in the state, and he's got these guys playing pretty good defense. So
Isiah Smith lines out, and that's going to now bring it up to Chase Conrad, as his job's going to be is to get on base with only one away. Now with one out, there's still plenty of time to do some damage in there.
Oh sure, we had one out early in last inning, and then the wheels kind of fell off with those 8 runs. So you got Chase Conrad here. He's going to look to get something started. Hunter Chase on the mound. He's looking to just control this damage, keep throwing strikes, and see if they can't get ground balls and get outs. So
Bobbled. Over the shoulder throw, but Chase Conrad's speed once again is going to beat the throw. And that's one thing that is definitely going to put Coach Harmon to sleep tonight is Chase Conrad's speed is to beat throws. So what's that say for Coach Townsend's defense?
I'll tell you, Grant Harness made a heck of a play right there in the hole. And if there was anyone besides Conrad, I think that he would have got him. Right now, just anytime there's a speedster on the bases, that just puts you on edge. You have to play things a little bit different. Your pitcher has to think about it and give him a look over at first base. The catcher's thinking, okay, I've got to get ready to make the throw and things like that. So you can see there just a little bit of a wild pitch, and Conrad's already down to second base. So,
want to know the count on Nick Brandon, who once again has homered in 2 games this fall. He homered in the opening game at Morrisville as Thompson dropped the ball from first. Good effort there by Logan Thompson.
And he made it over there, and he just missed the ball. It's unfortunate. Should have made that play.
Nothing to get too frustrated about. It's just something that it happens.
It does. It does. It's part of the game. Got to get back in there and think next play. Next play comes to me, I'm gonna make it. So.
2 balls and 1 strike. The count on Nick Brandon. He's a senior for these Crane Pirates. I don't know if you may have heard me from the concourses at the visiting games calling the Crane Pirates by superhero names or not, but I did have a superhero nickname for Nick Brandon. It was actually a super villain. If you know the mask guy from Batman, that was Bane. That was Nick Brandon. Now, what do you say that nicknames like that say for a team like Crane?
Say again. You're gonna have to ask me again because I missed that. I was watching the Bears throw out Conrad at the plate there. I don't know what he was thinking, but he
Conrad tagged out at the plate.
Heath Quick.
As sometimes Heath Quick's not going to bail him out, but so back to what I was saying with me giving the Pirates his superhero nicknames on what they've done, like Nick Brandon is Bane and Heath Quick is Thor. What do you think that would say for these guys?
So Heath Quick, with that big bat there, he carries that Thor's hammer, I guess, to thump the ball. So Bane, I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Nick about that one. I bet that he has something to say about it. So it sounds like a good one though.
1 ball, no strikes now on the cleanup man Heath Quick. He'll take the strike call from the pitcher of Hunter Chase from Galena and Crane here in the top half of inning number 4. The 1-1 pitch, just outside. Now 2-1. Now what's that have to say now that ball, as that last pitch went just way outside on Heath Quick?
And looks like Hunter's losing gas a little bit here. He started the night catching the ceremonial first pitch from Colby Smith. That's his cousin, and so it was neat that he got to catch that first pitch. But it started in left field. Now he's pitching. He's probably pretty worn out and kind of let that one get away from him here. So hopefully he can reel it in and get these pesky Pirates out.
3-1 as Heath Quick's going to sky one. It's going to be caught by the by the center fielder of Caleb McCullough, and it's going to put up a 0 on the scoreboard for the Pirates. Now with Galena coming off the field after giving up a scoreless inning from those Pirates. What's this going to say for Galena?
Well, they're going to have to do some damage here because I think we're getting pretty close to the time limit. So they're going to want to score some runs pretty quick and see if we can't keep this thing going. I believe we have Chase up at the plate, Hunter Chase leading off. We'll have Logan Busby and then be back at the top. That's a good thing that Burke's going to see the plate again. So hopefully he'll have a chance to drive in some runs.
Those advantages with Galena with the bottom of the lineup and then it's resetting it up for Burke. What's that going to be? What's that disadvantage going to be for Crane?
He packs a ton of power. He hits the ball long. He hits the ball hard. If he hits it on the line, it's tough to want to stay in front of it because he hits it so hard. Just run driving potential. Hopefully we can get these 2 runners on here and see if we can't go from there and have Luke score some runs with the bat.
thing is with this Galena team is they're going to have to do some damage. And the clock is ticking, so time is running out for Galena to do some damage. So with that, how is that going? What is Galena going to have to do to producing some runs? What are they going to have to do here with the bottom of the lineup and then the leadoff man coming up last?
Yeah. At this point, it's going to take hits. We can't bunt anymore. I mean, other than, we have some speedy guys if they want to try to bunt for a hit, but we're not going to be seeing the small ball or sacrifices anymore. We're looking to everyone get on base. Got to keep that line moving.
Hunter Chase, the batter who caught the ceremonial first pitch for Colby Smith. As I'll watch the first pitch to him go in for a strike at 0-1. No balls and one strike on Hunter Chase. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Hunter Chase. What's this gonna have to do? Like, what's gonna be the driving force? How well is Hunter Chase at working the count?
Well, he's got himself in an 0-2 hole right here. He's gonna have to work it back, just try to foul off any pitches he can, and take those pitches that may not be strikes and see what he can do. Definitely wants to see some more pitches.
Pitch got away from, pitch kind of jackknifed away from Hunter Chase. He's got a 2 balls, 2 strikes count, and Chase is rung up by the home plate umpire. So that means clock is still ticking with here in the bottom of inning number 4.
Number 6, Logan Busby.
But it's still an advantage for these Galena bats with 1 out here in the bottom of inning number 4. What's this gonna have to be with you when you got 1 out here and you're up to bat?
It's never too late to get anything started, so just got to get something started here, whether it be Busby putting down a bunt or hitting a line drive to the outfield. Just got to start by getting on base, or maybe taking balls and getting on base that way too.
0-1 the count on Logan Busby, the left fielder for Galena, as he was pulling from the game. Pitch outside on Busby. 2 balls, 1 strike. As we are here in the 4th inning, could you say Isiah's arm is starting to show a little bit of weakness?
He hasn't had to throw a lot of pitches, so I think he's doing all right still. He's firing strikes in, so that's a good thing. He struck out the first batter of this inning, and he's showing signs that he can finish this game here, I think.
2-2, just a little bit outside now. 3-2, 3 balls and 2 strikes as the count's going to run full. And this is what it means. Here comes the payoff pitch from Isiah Smith. And what do you think that pitch is going to have written all over it?
Yeah, I kind of wonder if it wasn't going to be a curveball. He threw a pretty good one there.
Oh, it's away and somersaulted by Zane Compton. Holy cow.
That was almost a great play on Smith covering from the mound. Busby flew down that line that he was able to beat it out.
But hey, tip your cap to the second baseman for Crane. That was Zane Compton with the almost acrobatic somersault play. If he threw him out, then chances are you would see that on SportsCenter.
That would have been a great play. That would have been something you'd want to send in for sure, because that was acrobatical for sure.
Definitely acrobatic. Here on the Ozarks Sports Report YouTube channel, we just coming up almost 2 hours into this live stream. Ball scoots away from Darren Terrell on that wild pitch. 11-2, and that ball scoots away. Does that mean you can make very minimal mistakes?
Yeah, I mean, from this part on and out, I mean, Galena can't make any mistakes, and they're going to have to do some damage. We've got Burke up here, who's had 6 RBIs, scored 10 runs. That's 16 runs of everything that the Bears have scored this fall, and that's a lot of the piece of pie right there. So, see if he can't do some damage here with Busby on second base as we get the pitch from Smith.
The 1-1 from Smith. Ball looked the plate, so it's going to be a 2 balls and 1 strike count. with only one out here in the bottom of inning number 4. Luke Burke up to the plate. A dangerous Luke Burke as he'll swing and chop one through the legs of Wyatt Howard and just past Chase Conrad's glove. They're going to tag him out at the plate. And that was a run saver for Crane.
Yeah. Out number 2. Little bit of a risky move to send him there, but he felt Busby had the speed to get in there and just got thrown out.
How about that cannon of an arm from Heath Quick to nab the runner there out at the plate?
You know, the big thing about that, it was a good throw, good strong throw, but it was a very accurate throw, and it was right on the mitt there for Terrell, and all he had to do was get low enough to make the tag, and Busby was out by a good distance.
Now the thing is, how hard do coaches gripe about their outfielders making those big plays making those plays at the plate, throwing those balls back into the infield to hopefully nab a runner out at the plate?
Yeah, I mean, you always want your outfielders to throw the ball where it can be cut off. It does no good to make it all the way to the plate if it goes up too high. So you want to throw it low and on a line and make it cuttable for the cut man. That way, if you have a chance to nab a player off a base somewhere else, you have a chance to do that.
1 ball, no strike. Luke Burke, the man on second base. And the batter is going to be Josh Gulick, for these Galena Bears. Scoreboard showing a little bit of malfunction here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. That's kind of been an issue today here from Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. Do you think that scoreboard's showing a little bit of age?
I think so. They're having a little bit of trouble with it on Thursday night, too. I would say a lot of that it's just the connection that it has from the almost a good play there by Conrad to get that.
Almost a good play. That would have definitely saved a base hit. Would have saved extra bases for Crane. So that's one thing about Chase Conrad from this Crane team is Chase Conrad, he can be your saving grace for saving base hits and potentially runs.
Yeah, he made a really good play earlier on a ground ball. Almost got that little bloop over his head, and he did the best play he could on it. There's no way that you can wrong him for the play he tried to make on that one. That would have been spectacular. So you definitely mark down Gulick for a hit on that one, and then understand that he probably saved a run by just getting the glove on it anyway. So
definitely saving a run. And now I'm going to put you in Coach Harmon's shoes after watching that reaction, almost making a great play out there in shortstop. What do you think Coach Harmon would have to say to Chase Conrad after that almost spectacular play?
Yeah, he's going to tell him that he made a great play. He's going to tell him that he worked hard on that. He's not going to be mad at him at all. He's just shake it off, get ready to make the next play, and hopefully get him out. They'll want to get out of this inning, no damage, and then go from there and pack on if they have a chance to hit in the next inning.
Man, this is number 5, Cameron Robertson.
Now with me being around Coach Harmon, I've always lectured this to him. I've told this to him is that no matter whether you win or lose, it's how much effort you bring to the ball game. And what does that have to say? Because I've seen Coach Harmon clap his hands after a loss. And what does that say? What does that make for Coach Harmon?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you go out there and you're playing a team that's a great team, maybe even a little more talented than you are, and if you can bring it and get to the point where you feel like you've played a good game, then that's a good thing. I'll tell you, just kind of a shout out to my junior high boys that played last night in Southwest. Played a good team, played their hearts out. Ended up going down losing by 3 in the last few seconds of the ball game, but I could have asked a better effort out of them. They played really hard, and Coach Myers and I, the head coach over there, we were definitely pleased with the way they played, even though they lost that game.
Coach Tyler Martin going out to the mound to talk things over to Isiah Smith. Now with 2 away here, what do you think Coach Martin's going to be telling Isiah Smith to do with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
He's going to want him to settle down, just keep doing what he's been doing. He's been getting some ground balls. The plays weren't on and things like that. So he just wants him to keep on doing what he's been doing, throwing strikes, get those ground balls, and get out of this inning with minimal damage.
Very strategically by the coaching staff, both Galena and Crane. Crane up 11-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I believe the batter that is, I can see his number 7. That is Dawson Shirv, the third baseman for Galena. On defense, Isiah Smith with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Thing is with Crane is they've done a good job tonight protecting, haven't they?
They've done a pretty good job. There's been a few plays where they've missed, and that's going to happen. But you just want to make sure you try to limit the damage and move on from there. I tell you what, Adam, I sure would like to see Shearer get into one here and watch him run, because I tell you, this kid has got a motor, and he can move about as well as Conrad can if he can get a ball in the gap here.
I might have a feeling I might want to put those two up in a foot race. Who do you think's going to win between Conrad and Shearer?
I know it's hard to say. Shearer has a little bit of height on him, a little more length, so that's kind of a plus for him. I would never not bet on Conrad on a foot race either. So
ball drops, and that's going to be another base hit. 1 run is in. That's going to pretty much shrink the deficit just a little bit for Galena as Burke scores. It's going to make it a 11-3 lead now for Crane. 11-3 Crane now here in the bottom half of inning number 4. Now with 11 away, this is one thing that Galena's got to do is just chip away as much as you can.
Yeah, again, it's just keep that line moving. I mean, they have 2 outs. You never say die. You never say never. So you just got to keep on trying. And that's the thing. You're not going to see this up. They're gonna keep trying out there.
That's also another thing about Crane is they're never going to give up as well, because when you come to Crane you're going to be expecting a fight between Crane and whoever's playing Crane. So that's one thing that Coach Harmon definitely teaches this Crane team is to fight, effort, be tough out there. And I'm sure Coach Townsend teaches his Galena team the same things as well.
He does, and it's just never say die. It's that mentality of, you're never too far down that you can't make a change in the game. And even if you don't get all the way back, you want to at least get closer. And that's the point. You just don't want to roll over and die. And I remember being taught that from Coach Bob Conrad at a young age. Whenever I played baseball here at Crane, she used to never say die. You just keep on trucking. Do what you can to get back closer to the game. And the short stop, and we end the inning.
End the inning off as we go to the top half of the 5th inning as it's now getting late for Galena. What's Galena gonna have to do is they would now take the field in the top half of the 5th inning.
I gotta hold them here for sure. No more runs, and then do what you can to come back out and score runs in the bottom of this inning. That's why I was questioning, looking over here, if we were at the time, but it looks like we're going back out for the top of the 5th.
Going back out here for the top of the 5th inning, as Galena is able to possibly escape the run rule, but we don't want to get ourselves excited here. Don't want to get ourselves too excited here, as Crane could chip away again. It's got to be prepared for the unexpected. We don't expect Crane to chip away. Sometimes we could run into this pitcher of Hunter Chase. Hunter Chase, who started the game in the field, who's the new pitcher. So what's that going to have to say for this Crane team? Like, what are they going to have to do in this 5th inning?
Again, they want to go out there with the mentality that they're still wanting to score runs. You never want to stop. Hunter did a great job last inning of coming in, throwing strikes, and making sure that they didn't get any runs in the top of the 4th. So he's going to look to do the same thing here. Those Pirates are just going to want to keep rolling. You got a good hitter here, starting off the top of the 4th for the Pirates in Darren Terrell. just going to see what he can do to get the line started for the Pirates.
Getting the line started for these Crane Pirates as Coach Clay Stumpf will get his cardio in as he runs back to first base. So, here in the top half of inning number 5, Darren Terrell now the man to greet Hunter Chase on the mound as he will dig into the left batter's box. Definitely Darren Terrell, a scrappy hitter when he's there at the plate.
He is real scrappy hitter. He's gonna see what he can do here. Hunter threw him a good pitch on first pitch of the inning. Speaking of Coach Stumpf over there, we were watching at the alumni game here a few weeks ago, and how he looked like he could step right back in and play the game, didn't he, Adam?
Oh, for sure. I remember that game we were betting on Coach Harmon to come in and take a few knocks during that home run derby, didn't we?
Yeah, we kind of thought he might step up and take his chances, but he decided to coach his role and not step over to the other dugout and play for the alumni. So,
I mean, give him credit. We could have allowed like a free round, like where people could come in and take a few knocks, maybe slap a few baseballs around. Darren Terrell will be off to the races, but he will stop there at first. Pardon me, he was
32, Bryson
flied out.
Flew out to center fielder Caleb Polo. That was a great play.
That was a great play. That pitch had base hit written all over that one. That's going to bring up Bryson Brandstetter. This guy has some power. This guy has a ton of power. So, what's Galena going to have to do with this guy, with this big guy of Bryson Brandstetter?
Yeah, you want to try to keep. He's been on the bases, I think, every time he's been at the plate today. So we want to try to keep him off the bases and see if we can't get him out for once. Ball 1 to him there. Hunter Chase goes back for pitch number 2.
1-0 is swung on, hit high, deep left field. The runner's going to give that a chase, and that ball had given it a ride. And Bryson Brandstetter gave that one a ride as that ball had home run written all over that.
Sure did.
Over that.
Yeah, sure did. I thought that might have a chance. But, again, there you go. Brandstetter, he's on second base. Looks like we're going to get a pinch runner here. Maybe
Well, that's going to be Eric Spires, another freshman on this squad. This Crane Pirates team is also built with freshmen. And
25,
is it better off to be
Bryson
young?
Hunt.
Or is it better off to be young or an old team?
Well, I think it depends. If you're in the win now mode, then you want that experience, those guys that have been there. But if you're looking towards the future, which both of these teams are, I mean, and you have strength that's older too. But I think they both like the youth that they have, and they want to see them succeed at this level. And that may come this year, that may come next. We'll just have to wait and see.
Wait and see is the words of wisdom by the assistant coach of the Galena Bears, Coach John Z. Martin, former man who coached on this diamond, but in the blue and gold for Crane, as Isaac Robertson will watch it go in. Scoreboard's turned off once again here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. Question is, do you think it's time to replace that scoreboard here in Crane?
I don't know. It still looks pretty nice. It probably just needs to do a little bit of work on it. Now, over at our field, on the other hand, we're definitely needing to get that thing replaced. We have similar issues, I should say, over at the Galena baseball fields with the scoreboards. You have to kind of baby it, and if you even come close to touching the antenna on the back, you might as well just forget about keeping score for that game. So.
2-0 the count as the scoreboard comes back on here at Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. So yeah, this scoreboard here at Crane shows some age. We don't know when this scoreboard was installed here in Crane, but
15 years ago.
Isaac Robinson is the batter, so he's got a 2-ball, 1-strike count. There's a 2-1 swing slapped off the glove of the third baseman. That was Dawson Shearer, and it's going to cost Galena another base hit.
Yeah, he kind of played that one on his heels. You never want to do that as third baseman. Kind of an in-between hop, too. So, tough play, definitely, but one that sure would tell you that he should have made. Probably, I would say, 8 times out of 10, he makes that play.
Zane Compton pinch hitting for Buddy Bowling now. And with this bat of Zane Compton, what's this have to say for the bat from Zane Compton?
I think Coach Harmon's wanting to get Zane Compton at bat right here. He's just going to enter the game and hit for himself. He's been DH for most of the game, so we'll still see him at second base, but he's going to hit for himself now. And Buddy Bowling's evening is done. But just sometimes it's good to get everyone in a bat. And, Zane's one of those kids that he can do the job. He can hit the ball. Just today was the day that Buddy hit for him, and he's going to show what he can do right here and see if he can't get himself back in the lineup next time.
Zane Compton in his first plate appearance as he'll swing, slap one, but the second baseman's going to have it, and it's going to make it number 2, but the runners will advance. So good sacrifice there by Zane Compton. So do you think that was the words from Coach Harmon?
Yeah, I think do what you can, go out there, put the ball in play, make something happen. He moved the runners over. So I think that's probably what you want to do in this spot and give Wyatt Howard a chance to drive him in.
Wyatt Howard a chance to drive it in as he comes up to the plate with a big opportunity here for Crane. Swing and a miss, good cut by Wyatt Howard. Now, so if you swing and miss, but what does it mean to make a good cut when you're at the plate?
Well, you want to make sure that you're swinging at the right level, swinging at the right pitches. That ball looked like it might have had a little bit of a downward motion to it, so it looked like he might have swung over the top of that one just a little bit. So he's gonna take a look at it next time and see if he can't put the ball in the bat.
1 ball, 1 strike on Wyatt Howard. Here's a 1-1 pitch, swinging a high, towering fly ball. Should be playable, and it's going to be caught for the final out of the inning. So no runs have come across the plate for the Pirates on a few base hits, no errors, and the base where 2 men were left on base. We go on to the bottom of inning number 5, getting late for those Galena Bears. It's 11-3, Crane over Galena. Oh, man. They can see a new pitcher on the mound.
Oh yeah, what's that?
That's Zane Compton.
Is that Compton?
Zane Compton.
12 after 3. What is the Reynolds? 12 after 3.
I think so, like 12 after 3, 9 after 6.
10 after 5. Right?
10 after 5, yeah.
And I think it's 8 after 6. Is it 9 after?
I think it's 9, yeah. Are you texting that too?
Oh, Coach Shearer was wanting to know because he was thinking that it was.
Sure. Is he the high school coach there?
Yeah.
High school basketball coach there at Galena?
Mm-hmm.
Which I know I might do some play-by-play for basketball. Question is, one thing is the press box is going to be so close to the floor, so I might have to sit up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
At least, good thing Crane does have some higher seats up there,
Mm-hmm.
so it'd be good.
I still haven't got to go to Crane's
New gym?
New gym. No,
Head on over there, man. Come on.
I need to.
Doesn't Galena play at Crane this year?
I'm not sure if we do or not. We played there last year, and I was out of town for that one. I had to go to pick my girls up.
Oh, we're at?
St. Roberts.
Oh, Underwood. Oh.
So.
So you heard about the new woman here?
That's going to bring up number 9, Grant Harness.
What's that?
So that's why he's here that.
Stupid, yeah. Welcome back to Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium here in downtown Crane, Missouri. Grant Harness, the batter for these Galena Bears. Long day today here from Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium as we've seen already 3 games now here from Crane. First game was between Spokane and Wheaton, and Spokane walked it off as Harness drove it all the way to the wall. So, well, you know, Coach Martin, there's something cooking there in the Bears' kitchen.
And he was able to take that pitch the other way, drive down the line, and get 2 out of that one. Now we got Logan Thompson up to the plate. He's going to try to keep this line moving. At this point, I think that you're just trying to continually base hit after base hit after base hit. That's what's going to work.
So after that base hit, not good for Zane Compton, but nothing to worry about. He's got an 11-3 lead to protect. So, what do you think Coach Harmon's words were to us? What do you think Coach Harmon would be saying after giving up the leadoff base hit from Zane Compton?
He just wants to settle him down. You know, he made a pitch there, and maybe might have left it over the plate a little bit too much, and but just to understand that that's the first hit. You have to go get the next guy. So he's going to be looking to get Thompson here and get the first out of the inning.
1 ball and 1 strike on Logan Thompson, the first baseman today for these Galena Bears. So actually, in the second game of this Saturday, the final day of the Crane Fall Wood Bat Tournament, we saw Billings take on Blue Eye, and it was a 9-8 Billings victory over the Blue Eye Bulldogs. A very good contest, back and forth, like a tennis match. Ask me. And then after the game before this one, it was between Purdy and Hartville, Battle of Eagles, as it was the newcomers of Purdy and the Swickle, who defeated the Hartville Eagles by a score of 6-3. So you guys take on Purdy coming up after this game. What's going to be the subject? Where are you guys going to teach your players on how to beat a team like Purdy?
I think you got to just make sure that you throw strikes early, get a lead on them. Hartville had a lead on them here, but then they had some struggles getting the ball over the plate, and then they started to lead it up a little bit, and that Purdy team can do some damage. So you want to try to limit that as much as you can. Hopefully we have a good arm going on the mound. I'm not exactly sure who Coach Townsend's going to throw out there. We'll have the pesky Pirates again on Tuesday that we'll have to prepare for. So it just depends on what kind of pitching matchups he wants to see on that one.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Logan Thompson, the batter for these Crane Pirates. So on that Tuesday, we will be at that game, and we will stream that one live from the Ozarks Sports Report YouTube channel. It's always good to come on the road and live stream so the people can see a different field. Don't you think these fans are getting tired of seeing us view live stream games from this place here in Crane?
Well, it's been a long week, but true fans of baseball, they don't care where it's at. They want to watch a game. So I'd say that they've seen the same scenery, but they'll get some new scenery on Tuesday and hopefully enjoy that.
Yeah, but one thing is, or do they get tired of seeing the same team play over and over again? Crane, which is the team I'm following. So, I mean, they could be like, come on, show us another team. What do you think those fans would say?
Well, I'd say that they might want you to look into expanding your market a little bit, but at this point, I know you're getting the start, and this is a good team to follow. They're going to play a lot of different places, play a lot of different teams, so it gives everyone a chance to watch their opponent and see some different teams played. And I don't know what kind of followers you have right now, but I would say that a lot of coaches would take advantage of what you offer here, because then they can see other teams play whenever they're not on the field themselves.
Definitely from a fan's perspective and from a coach's perspective, as they get to scout these teams, like you get to scout Crane as your team plays Crane. Another squeeze attempt, and runner on second base for those Galena Bears.
Yeah, we got runners on second and third here, one out. Busby,
number 6,
Logan Busby is getting ready to drive in runs here and see what he can do. He's pretty sharp whenever he can stay in there and go the other way. So we'll see what he can do here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Bottom of the fifth inning, kicking off. Bottom of the fifth inning here in Crane, 1 out away here for those Bears. These Bears can be. They could be a chore once they get on base and they've clawed their way in.
Sure, sure can, and it helps whenever your pitchers, it helps them whenever you score runs for them, and that's what the Bears are trying to do here is give a little effort to those pitchers that have worked hard. Maybe not seen some of the results. However, I would tell you I'm pretty impressed with Hunter Chase keeping this right now at an 8-run game as opposed to what it could be if he had to come in and threw 2 scoreless innings here in the past 2 innings.
Bears down by 7 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now as we look ahead into the next inning of play, the bottom of the 6th inning, the top of the 6th inning, what's Crane going to be seeing as we shift from the bottom of the 5th to the top of the 6th?
I'm kind of thinking this is the Bears' last chance right here. The time should be really close to expiring if it hasn't, and I think what they want to do right here is just keep on going on this inning, and that'll be their last chance. If they do happen to go to the top of the 6th, again, Pirates are going to want to come out and try to just score some more runs.
Busby strikes out, so they get a speedster off the base paths of Busby, but it's going to start more trouble for Crane as they're going to have to face a deadly, and I mean a deadly bat of Luke Burke.
Yeah, Luke could put us a lot closer right here if he can get into one. He's had a couple hits on the day already, and he's looking to get more and hopefully get some RBIs on this at bat right here.
So far, Luke Burke as he will swing and going to be robbed by Chase Conrad. Over the shoulder throw, and what a play that was there by Chase Conrad, showing off the flash between Crane and Galena as we go to the top of the 6th inning. No, pardon me. That's going to be the end of the game as the Pirates take 3rd place here from the Crane Fall Wood Bat Tournament. Coming up next, we'll see the post-game interview between the coach of Crane, the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon, after this 3rd place loss. And as you for this Galena team, how tough is this loss for you guys?
Well, Steph, you always want to win one. We knew we were down on down to. We've had our top 2 or 3 pitchers throw in the earlier games. We have other pitchers that are definitely good arms and stuff, and Hunter Chase came in and showed that. Grant Harness is a good arm. He didn't quite have the strike zone today, but we knew it was going to be a tough game here for the Pirates. We're looking forward to getting back against them again on Tuesday.
Tuesday will be the next time that the Crane Pirates and the Galena Bears will meet again. Darth Vader Obi-Wan Kenobi against Anakin Skywalker now, would you say?
Yeah, I would say that's about true.
Please join us in congratulating Crane on the 3rd place in the Crane Wood Bat Tournament.
Crane will take the 3rd place trophy after the Pirates rebounded back after that tough loss to Conway. But coming up after this game and after the post-game interview with head coach Brian Harmon, assistant coach John Z. Martin and I will join you once again for the 5th and final live stream of this Saturday, of this long and busy Saturday, to end off the Crane Fall Wood Bat Tournament. So we'll say stick around for the post game with the winning coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon. So we'll say stick around, everybody. Alrighty.
I need to be on it or not?
I'll move it towards you. Oh, there's
Okay, about here.
Gosh dang it, stupid
First
phone.
time it's fallen tonight, isn't it?
Too many. Alright. Welcome back to Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. I'm here with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, head coach Brian Harmon, after a third place victory over the Galena Bears, 11-3. Coach, what was the main focus going into this game against Galena?
Well, anytime you play for third place, your focus is to try to get out to an early start because, you know, both teams playing for third place feel like they should be in the championship no matter how their semifinal went. And so, you know, the first team that goes out and asserts themselves usually comes out on top, and we were able to do that this time.
You guys scored 3 runs in the second inning of the ball game, and then you guys scored 8 runs after Galena shrink the deficit down to 1, and you guys scored 8 to make it 11-2. What did you tell your players during each at bat to play against this team of Galena?
Well, I really stressed, you know, the other night our stress was, you know, we had the bad inning at the end, but the reason we lost the other night I felt like was because we quit hitting after the first 2 innings. And I stressed, you know, if we don't get back to hitting and scoring runs, that, you know, the defense wasn't going to make any difference because we had a bad defensive inning again in the second, which let them get back in it. And, you know, once we can bounce back and maybe push the envelope a little bit, and our guys come through with a lot better at bats at that point, and I think that's what wrote us on to the win.
You guys play Galena once again, but it's going to be at Galena on Tuesday night after the day off from the Crane Fall Woodbat Tournament. What's going to be the main focus that you're going to bring against the Galena Bears?
A lot like tonight, we got to try to assert ourselves. You know, even though we were home tonight, we were the visiting team because we lost the coin toss, and you know, we're going to be the visiting team over there. You know, everybody wants to be the home team, and I want to be the home team. But sometimes when you're not, you just have to go out and try to assert yourself early and try to make a statement quick. You know, I know they've got their number 1 pitcher available on Tuesday. They play Monday as well, so, you know, he'll throw on Monday or Tuesday. He's great. You know, he's tough. He was tough enough last year, and I, you know, have gotten word from some coaches that saw him the other night against Conway and said, you know, he's really stepped it up even more. And, you know, he's intimidating enough, but if he's gotten even better, he's going to be tough on us. But, you know, we just have to take good at bats. And if we see him and if we see someone else, we just got to do the same thing. Just have a good approach and good at bats, and hopefully things will come through for us.
If you have any final words to say to the head coach of the Galena Bears, Coach Timmy Townsend, after this huge 11-2 win, or pardon me, 11-3 win over Galena, what would you say to his team of the Galena Bears?
Well, I knew when we got up 3-0 that it wasn't over. I knew they were going to battle. They've got some good bats in certain spots in their lineup that really scare you, specifically at the top of their lineup. And I knew they were going to battle to try to get back in it. You know, even though we made poor defensive decisions, they executed on their plays, and, you know, they made us pay for every mistake we made. So I knew that was going to happen. I knew they would keep fighting to get back, and we just, you know, we came through with that big inning, and, you know, we just have to kind of try to repeat that. And, you know, as far as talking to Coach Townsend, I told him, I said, I know you guys are better than what we saw tonight, and I know you're going to give us a better, you know, it's going to be a better game on Tuesday, and, you know, we've just got to come focused and ready to go.
Thanks for taking the time with us, Coach Harmon. Enjoy this third place victory from your own tournament here in Crane, and we will talk to you on Tuesday against Galena.
Thank you, Adam.
Coach Brian Harmon, after that huge 11-2 win over the Galena Bears. As we see the Crane Fall Woodbat Tournament championship between Conway and Morrisville. But we'll cut the stream off and we will get back to you shortly. So we'll see you guys in just a few moments. So stick around, everybody.